Why are you looking at me like that?
That armor you wear is standard issue for the Menancian Guard, right?
Originally, I've added some flair to it in a lot of places.
I noticed, especially with that open back.
We guardsmen pride ourselves on never showing our back to our enemies. It's my way of making myself live up to that. Plus, it makes it that much lighter and easier to maintain.
Dohalim, do you have anything to say about this?
Every guardsman is allowed to wear their armor as they see fit.
And you, La?
Huh? Why are you asking me?
I've noticed that sometimes we come across enemies who fight like you, and try to dodge our attacks at the last second.
I hate those guys. I can get some hits in when they move into attack, but otherwise they slip past damn near everything else I throw at them.
If what you're seeking is a way to more reliably hit them, there is a solution.
Try to outclass them on reflexes?
I possess the ability to command Earth elemental beings to some extent. They emerge as the land itself and take root on my command. They will swiftly bind the enemies, at which point you can dispatch them.
Huh?
What he means is that he can make plants grow to hold the enemies in place. At least I think that's probably what he's saying.
I'm glad at least one of us understands him. So basically, if we find an enemy that likes to dodge, we should let Dohalim handle it.
I shall do what I can within my modest means to help.
Hey, that actually came out pretty all right, don't you think?
Rinwell, mind if we chat a little?
Hoodle, come here, sweetie. Woo! Good boy.
What are you doing?
It's flying practice. Hoodle doesn't really like to leave my side, but if I don't make him spread those wings every now and then, they'll start to weaken. It's important he practices. Also, I'm pretty sure he put on some extra weight. Ooh.
Probably because everyone keeps sneaking him snacks when you're not looking.
I knew it! I thought there was something fishy going on. Oh, it's really not good for birds to be overweight, you know?
Oh, really? I'm sorry, Rinwell.
You were feeding him too? You haven't been giving him anything he can't eat, have you?
I'm pretty sure everything I've given him has been okay. Just to be sure, though, why don't you tell me what he can't eat?
Huh? Oh, yeah.
Is something the matter?
No, not at all. It's just, for a really long time, Huro was the only friend I had. So on the one hand, it makes me really happy to see everyone be so accepting. But on the other, it's a bit of an adjustment sharing him, you know?
Every one of us can see that he's like family to you. I can promise no one's trying to ignore your feelings or anything.
Yeah, I'm sure you're right. I'll talk to the others about it later. Good night. Another day, another Gald.
Something feels odd here. Be on your guard. All right. There's nowhere to run from my arts!
When he slows down, that's our chance!
It's like trying to keep up with a wall! Mega Ray! By the power of water! Gemini Onward!
Sword Rain Alpha!
Dance in the wind! Sleep now!
Orochi's Fury!
Take it! Got you!
Castle!
Go! Face with Ray!
That's freaking done! Be still! Stardust! Blow away!
Divine! All day!
I'm on! Sword Rain Alpha!
Here's evil!
Be still!
Hurricane! Lancer!
Orochi's Fury! Castle!
Wind astral energy! Gimme flame! Fury!
Take this!
Glacial Spear!
Here's evil!
Rending
Dance
Sword!
in the
Just
wind!
getting started! Rending Blast!
Watch it! Mega Ray!
Flaming Thrust!
In here!
Flaming Thrust!
More for the stockpile!
Orochi's Fury!
Here goes! Take it! Go!
I'm on it!
Lightning!
Talon Hurricane!
Flame of Fury!
Come on, Sword Rain Alpha!
Do it! It's over! Astral energy! Full throttle!
Got some interesting moves there, Dohalim. I'm glad you're on our side.
I'm simply glad to hear that I can make myself useful to you all. Huh?
What's wrong?
We seem to have come across some rather unusual objects.
What, you mean that pile of garbage?
No mere garbage, I assure you. Still, I've never seen anything shaped like it before. I'm intrigued.
Are you curious about this stuff, Rinwell?
Yeah. I think he might have found some old Dahnan relics. They look like the remains of a bunch of objects that disappeared after the Renans first invaded.
And yet here I am, holding them without so much as a second thought. I imagine the sight must be unsettling to you.
Not really, just that it must be nice to be a Renan who has time to indulge in stuff like that, unlike the rest of us.
Are you interested in this stuff too, Dohalim?
Charmed may be a better turn of phrase. I simply love objects that can give me a sense of what their maker was thinking, the history that went into their creation. You see, we Renans have hardly any such objects that trace back to our distant past.
I still don't understand what you two find so intriguing about it, though.
Why not? We're talking about our own culture here.
I get that, but it's not like this stuff is any use now, does it? It's just old. Real old.
Oh, but it does. Holding it in your hands like this, One can feel and engage with the distant past in a way no history book can ever accomplish.
I'll take your word for it. Well, seeing as it's Dahnan history, just make sure you're careful with it. All right, Dohalim?
But of course. There's history in the air here. I can smell it.
I don't smell anything.
Don't encourage him.
Certainly not bad.
No complaints here.
Visibility along this path will remain limited for some time. Take care not to get ambushed.
I'm surprised you know the terrain here so well. Lords don't strike me as having much time for wandering in the woods.
Sometimes I would take strolls along here when I wished to be alone.
You always did have a bad habit of disappearing without telling any of us guardsmen. I just noticed none of you other Dahnans have spirit cores. Why is that?
Both of my parents were part of the resistance in Calaglia. In fact, my birth was kept a secret from the Renans.
Mine too. We always lived in hiding, so I never had a spirit core embedded in me like I was supposed to.
What about you, Alphen? You were a slave in Calaglia before all this, weren't you?
To be completely honest, I'm not sure why I don't have one. All the other Dahnan slaves around me did. I was the only exception. They tended to keep their distance from me to avoid attracting any attention from the soldiers, because of my mask and all. What about you, Kisara? Do you still have your spirit core?
No. I was able to find a good Renan doctor who's sympathetic to our kind, and had them remove it before I left. They did such a great job, the procedure didn't even leave a scar.
One of the benefits of coexistence, huh?
I know that once the spirit vessel was shut down, there wasn't much need for me to hurry. But still, I didn't like having that mark of servitude lingering on me any longer than I had to. It may sound a little strange to hear me say this, but I'm just me now. Not a guardsman or a slave. I'm my own woman, and this is my chance to have a new beginning.
This sure is one rugged road. You'd think they'd keep this at least a little better maintained, right?
Why spend energy fixing that which is rarely used? Repairs require time and effort, which in our world means slaves, often in great numbers. For you, it may be a simple request, but that can quickly become another's difficult burden. Nobody gains anything without someone expending effort.
And you know, somehow that someone always ends up being a Dahnan, while the Renans are the ones who gain.
True enough. Ideally, in a perfect world, I think it's only fair that the ones who need it should be the ones to perform the work.
However, when doing so could be dangerous like it is here, there are many who would prefer that it be others who risk their lives in their stead.
So, what you're saying is that people will just put up with the inconvenience until someone else comes along to fix it for them?
Indeed. And it is those who can no longer bear that feeling that inevitably take action. Much like the Dahnans in our group do so now. As strange as it may be to hear such a thing from the likes of myself.
It's true that most of the Dahnans in Calaglia have been resigned to just accepting things as they are. Still, we can't just blame them for...
What are you making that face for? You're not worn out already, are you?
Nah, just regretting I ever said anything in the first place.
An opponent like this should be easy.
Let's give it a whirl!
This one's all mine!
It's a duel of the arms! I'm all done!
We've got flyers!
I've got it! Let him
Prepare to be
handle
sealed.
All yours! Burn it hell!
Eat there!
An astral light?
That's my cue!
Shut him down!
There! Go! Go! Here goes! Where that came from! Photon! Lightning condensed! Thunderblade! Let the marksman handle this! I never miss!
Dazzle! No further!
Lightning condensed!
Be still!
Thunderblade! That does it!
Watch it! Dazzle! I hope this thing is meant Stardust!
Here, let me help!
First strike!
Steering flame! Reload! Mega ray!
It's time to finish this! Die! Consuming wildfire! Here, let me help!
We got the advantage.
Good.
Here goes!
Just have to make sure we keep it.
Don't worry, because Law's on it.
This one's all mine! First strike! Be still!
Reload!
I'm out of ammo! Back into the fray!
Flaming Sword!
Steel! Steel force!
You're done!
Let me do it! Thunderblade!
Quite necessary when creating weaponry.
Oh man, I hope I live long enough to regret this.
Gusty nail!
Freezing storm! I'll end you! Watch it!
I'm so good with airborne targets.
Sword Ray Alpha!
Pesky airborne scoundrels!
Sounds like a job for yours truly!
Here goes!
Watch this!
Splendid
I'll
Flash!
heal you all! Dance in the wind!
Be still!
Healing circle! Get on in there with the others!
Did you just heal me?
Yes, I need you, remember?
Right.
Watch this! Oh! Now I'm real mad!
Here, let me help!
Wind astral energy!
Here I go! Splendid Flash!
Gusty nail!
Flaming Flash!
Let me help!
Now! First aid!
I'll stop your movement!
And I'll stop your life!
Dance in the wind! Renegis!
I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw! There's always room for improvement.
It's so hilly around here. I can feel my feet getting blisters.
That's mountain hiking for you. It can be pretty tough if you're not used to these sorts of trails.
I take it you're comfortable with them then?
Oh yeah. We used to run up and down these slopes all the time for our training exercises.
Damn, you weren't messing around. It's on!
spear! Here's evil!
Orochi's Fury!
Freeze laser!
Glimmer Dragon!
Lightning orb! Airborne beast! Mind
Ether!
spec! Thunder
Flaming Thrust!
Flying freaks! Why can't they just sit still?
Sion, can you take care of them?
No sooner said than done! Lightning orb!
Be still! Stardust!
In here! Annihilation! Get on there!
Flaming Thrust! Orochi's Fury!
Talon Hardtail! Searing flame! Back into the flame! Annihilation! Steel!
Orochi's
I'm
Fury!
just getting to it! Lightning orb!
You're quite the gunslinger.
I have to be, in this world.
Don't worry, I've got your back.
Little help!
Sword Rain Alpha! Try this!
Flame! Reload!
Blending Flash!
Reflective lightning handles it!
Dazzle!
That's enough! Healing circle!
Flaming! Try harder!
Mega red! You company! Leave the enemy's arc to me!
No complaints here!
Hope this works! Here, let me help!
Be still!
There you go!
Stardust!
Feel like me again. Leave the ensnaring to me. Yeah! And pummeling to me!
Dazzle! I'll run you through! Be still! Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno!
Here's a healing
Dazzle! Eat dirt!
First aid!
Now I can let loose!
Banana!
Dazzle!
Let's go!
Stardust!
Instant!
I'll run you watch it!
Orochi's Fury!
Now you see what I can do! Dark can't get out of this!
Here, let me help! Now! First aid!
Now I can let loose!
Astral energy!
Say no more! Got it!
Well done!
Lightning Thrust!
Here I go! In the wind!
Stardust!
Air drop! Not on my watch! Magic and never miss!
Be still!
Right! You
Stardust!
get the gist! Do it! Feel!
Look sharp! Lightning Tiger Blade!
Dragon Shell! Darkness! Tornado!
Dazzle!
Divine! Too much to handle!
I'm on it! Orochi's Fury!
Do it!
Just getting started!
Gemini Ultra! Am I on a roll or what?
Well, look who's in a bright and shiny mood.
This might be some decent equipment.
Anything that makes battles easier is okay by me.
More Dahnan ruins here too, I see.
What were people even thinking back then? Trying to build anything around here.
Maybe they just had that much time and energy on their hands. What is this?
I sure have built up a sweat with this hike.
Rest assured, we have reached the top. It's all downhill from here. Quite lit.
No backing down!
Be still!
Raging Lightning!
Take
Orochi's Fury!
Glimmer Dragon!
Air drop! Photon
Eat this!
None shall escape my judgment!
Be still! It's time! It's over!
Glimmer Dragon!
You're mine!
Now it's mine!
Stardust! Still!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished! That's some power you wield.
You're the one who did the heavy lifting.
What's this place here? Some kind of old house?
I don't know about that. If I had to guess, it probably served as some kind of shrine.
I won't
forgive you!
Confiscated! Annihilation!
Castle!
By the power of
Sword Rain Alpha! You picked the wrong fight!
Watch this!
I owe you one! Stardust!
The enemy wields Arc too.
You'll soon see about that!
Away! Castle!
Lightning help!
I'm on it!
Hear me!
Far enough!
Burning! Burn for the stockpile!
Take this! Still!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished.
See you continue on in that vein.
Yes, my lady?
Something you wanted to say?
Lightning descent!
It's on!
Thunderblade!
Orochi's Fury!
Annihilation!
We did it!
These little ones are hardly worth our time.
Less talking.
Cut them apart to your heart's content. Looks like it could be worth something. If it's in the sky, it's mine!
They're surrounding us!
Burn in hell!
Our expert, cut it through!
Eagle Fly! Flaming Thrust!
It's attack time!
Orochi's Fury! First strike! Talon
I
Hurricane!
never miss!
Eagle Fly!
Here goes!
Just getting
None
started!
shall
I'll
escape
smash
my
you!
judgment! Do it!
Thunderblade!
Kizara! Go for it!
Prepare to crumble! Eat this! Nothing gets by me! Well, what do you know?
Now!
It's time!
Law! Get toasty!
Burn strike!
Right, next one!
Orochi's Fury! Already on!
Supernova!
Now! Who wants to die next?
Orochi's Fury!
More for the stockpile!
I'll run you sword right now!
Shining
Eat this!
Supernova!
Talon Storm!
Up and at 'em! Let's go!
Here I come!
Go!
Do it!
Astral energy!
Castle!
Law!
Demon's Descent! Flashing Fang!
I won't rest until I'm the best I can be.
Still striving to be on par with the Lord?
You simply can't be too strong when battle is a part of your everyday. Out of our way!
Flaming Sword! Orochi's Fury!
Hear my call!
Orochi's Fury!
Burn it! Water! Hear my call!
Burn!
Raging Hurricane! Seal!
Be still!
Get on in there with the
Sword Rain Alpha!
Leave the chargers to
Damn it!
Do they not teach you to say thank you in Dahna? Not to a Renan they don't.
Thunderblade!
Armor won't save! I'm on a roll now!
Back into the fray! This one's mine!
Flaming Thrust! That's enough! Stardust!
Lightning!
Do it!
Flame of
That's
Steel!
enough!
Astral energy! Full throttle! Dance in the wind! Seal!
Dragon Shell!
It's all handy!
Talon Hurricane!
Now! Searing flame!
Seal!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished. I think I'm getting stronger.
Oh yeah? Think you could beat me at arm wrestling?
When have I not beaten you?
Right.
Gotta break through! Be still!
Thunder field!
Here I go!
Don't mind if I do! And again! Raging cascade! Seal!
Castle!
I'll retreat it this way!
time!
Astral energy! Alright!
Hey, when did I get so popular?
I'll be saving this one!
Orochi's Fury!
Lightning!
Take this!
Burning! Up and at 'em! Let's go!
Sword Rain Alpha! Not today!
Right! Magic and
Darling! This one's got your name on it!
Ashes to ashes!
Dance in the wind!
Castle! I can carve through armor!
This'll come in handy. Art expert coming through!
Watch this! Flaming thrust! Stardust!
Magic is there! Let me help!
Dragon Shell! You're mine! You're
Where are
finished!
you going? The tide of battle has turned.
That's the power of comrades in arms.
Correct. Comrades in arms.
What? Too sentimental?
Lightning raging down!
Flaming thrust!
Pierce evil.
Do you require a hand?
We're here!
Take it! Ferocious Fury!
Water, hear my call.
It's on!
Thunder field!
Wish they were all that easy.
Yeah, I think we might be getting too strong.
Isn't that good?
Play along, would you?
Hey, new equipment!
Gotta break through!
Eat this!
Sword Rena!
Eat him!
Eat Alpha! Try this!
Take this!
Here, let me
Blended
help.
Blast!
Talon Hurricane!
Okay, here I go! Damn it! First strike!
Ready!
Ferocious Fury! Burn in hell!
I'll finish you here and now!
Ferocious
In here!
Fury!
This one's mine.
Let's get you all tucked away! Fire instant!
Sword Rain Alpha!
Jolene! This one's got your name on it!
Action to action!
Vanquish darkness! Here's a healing heart! Well, someone seems in tip-top
Here I
form.
go!
Nothing new about that.
And still as humble as ever.
Eat this! Reload!
I'll end you! I'll smash you!
Do it! Annihilation!
Kisara! All yours, Kisara!
With this, I can become even stronger.
This one's mine! In here!
Flying freak! Why can't they just sit still?
Sia, can you take care of them?
No sooner said than done!
Leave the enemy's arms to me!
No complaints here!
Don't mind if I do!
Will this help?
I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw! Dragon shell!
They're attacking from
Lightning
behind!
thrust! Can't get out of this!
We've turned the tables on them.
There are still more left!
Right. No time to hold back.
Eagle back into the fray!
Roasting fury!
Do it!
Be still! I'm on it!
I never miss!
I can carve through armor!
Flame! Reload!
Be still! I'm on it!
None shall escape my
Roasting
judgment!
fury!
Now!
In an instant!
Impact cross!
Onward and upward.
No choice! Roasting fury!
Sleep now!
Get on in there with the others!
Sword is
Magic is evil!
Sword rain out! I'm surrounded! Rending blast! I'm on it!
We got flyers.
I've got this! Let him march me!
Be still!
All yours.
In the wind!
That's
Air thrust!
So much for sitting this fight out.
That wouldn't be a complaint, I hear.
Nope, that'd be silly.
Tornado! Lightning to death!
Roasting pistol!
Here I go! The tide of battle has turned!
That's the power of comrades in arms.
Comrades in arms!
Take this!
What? Too sentimental?
Lightning thrust! Strike! I'm on it!
Do it!
Glimmer
Neon! Astral energy! Full throttle!
You're mine!
Eat this! Rip and tear!
Stardust!
Now!
Dragon shell!
Law! I'll stop your movement!
And I'll stop your life!
I still got a ways to go. Still thinking about how to act around Dohalim?
That obvious, huh? Except I don't think I'll be changing much after all. Don't get me wrong, I'm not going to stay his servant. However, I am going to treat him like a fellow comrade, the same way I would with you or anyone else. For as long as I can remember, I've spent my life protecting others. But isn't that what friends do too? Support and protect one another in times of need?
Which in the end pretty much means doing as you've always done, right? If that's what you're most comfortable with, I'm certainly not going to give you any grief over it.
Actually, I've been thinking about how I ought to act around you all as well.
Oh?
When I set out on this journey, it was to rid Elde Menancia of its enemies and search for wisdom in the outside world. Wisdom that I could potentially put to use on my return. I'm grateful to you all for letting me tag along. But it got me thinking, what am I actually contributing by being here?
What are you talking about? You know how to hold a weapon, don't you? That's help enough.
Is it though? Sometimes I wish there was more I could be doing to pull my...
Oops, sorry about that. Jeez, I'm famished.
Now that you mention it, what do you guys normally do for food and meals when you're out and about on your travels?
What do you mean, what do? We find stuff to eat and eat it. So long as it's meat, I'm not fussy.
Eating what you like can be good for morale in the short term, but you need to think about your diet if you want to stay healthy.
Does that mean eating vegetables too?
Isn't that obvious?
It does, which I guess hasn't been happening up till now.
Yeah, to be honest, we could be eating better than we do.
Understood. In that case, I'll just have to make sure you're all staying healthy and eating right myself. Fortunately, I happen to know a thing or two about cooking as well.
You hear that, Law? Sounds like you'll be eating your greens after all.
What is it?
No, sorry, it's just... I was just wondering if you had any thoughts on all this.
It will do her good to have a project.
No, not Kisara. I meant you. Was there anything you wanted to add?
Me? Certainly you're not looking to me for culinary skill, I hope.
Typical Renan, leaving everything to someone else.
Rinwell, I don't think...
That said, should you need my skills on the battlefield, please rest assured I have no intention of shirking my responsibilities, regardless of who we may face.
I'm sure no one doubts that. Listen, guys, if we're traveling together, we should probably at least try to make an effort to get to know one another, don't you think?
I wouldn't get your expectations too high in that regard. Believe it or not, sometimes I'm not sure I even know myself all that well.
Something wrong? You look like you're deep in thought.
Not exactly. I was merely thinking about you two and your sense of etiquette.
Oh?
Etiquette?
Indeed. To be quite frank, I find your lack of manners to be nigh intolerable.
That's not being frank, that's being forget it. Do we really need to talk about this now?
Yes. I find such impropriety on your part to be deeply unsettling. It concerns me greatly.
What do you want us to do? We were slaves. We never got to learn how to be proper like you.
Yeah, what he said. Maybe you missed how we were just focused on surviving.
Perhaps, but Kisara here demonstrates that it's quite possible for a Dahnan to learn proper manners.
That's because I was given the opportunity to learn. Moreover, my duties as a guardsman required it. Not every realm is like Menancia, as you well know.
Yeah, I don't think it's fair to hold us to some other city standards.
Exactly. You've got to remember what it's been like for us living under the Rena elsewhere.
I will concede that you do indeed make a valid point. It would appear, for all my espousing the virtues of equality between our peoples, I was still looking down on the two of you.
You don't need to beat yourself up. I wasn't that offended by what you said, man.
Nevertheless, I shall mind my words from here on out. Having said that, I do believe you two would still benefit from learning the basics of proper society. I would be more than happy to teach you both when we camp out, if you like.
Yeah, no, I'll pass. Acting all prim and proper isn't really my style.
If you say so. How about you, Law? Would you like to learn? Although I suppose my first task is to reform your attitude toward the idea of good etiquette.
You're not gonna let this go, are you?
Hey, let's stop for a minute.
What's up? You already tired?
My armor's pretty heavy. I think I need a little rest.
I second that. All of this walking is starting to take its toll on me as well.
What? You don't look it.
We can't spare the time. There's places we need to be. Mahag Saar's capital, Niez, is our destination right now.
But if one of us collapses, it will only serve to slow us down. And in your case, Alphen is the only one who could carry you. Best to rest while you have the opportunity.
Enough already! I need a break, so we're taking one.
I don't need you fretting over me.
Fretting? Hey, it's not like I'm...
Been looking for you.
For me, why? You said you were looking for me. Why?
Beautiful, precious life.
What the...
That is all I desire.
Then why are we fighting? Who even are you?
First strike! Silver dragon!
Sometimes
Take
the best
this.
water is
Here
to
I
hide
go!
all of you.
Enjoy.
Spread!
Glacial spear.
Orochi, who the hell are you? Bastard!
This guy's not normal.
His speed is unbelievable.
You mean he even surpasses a lord?
Ignite!
Thunder shield!
It's weakened.
Lightning thrust! This ends now!
Armor won't save you!
Annihilation!
Lightning
Where
thrust!
are you going?
I'm on it!
Gusty nail! Cover the
Will this help?
Orochi,
Healing now!
This is rather handy.
did you just hear me?
Yes, I need you, remember?
One more time!
Here and now!
Glacial spear.
Pierce evil!
Take this.
Freeze lancer! Raging cascade!
Enjoy.
Dance in the wind! Shield! Get on in there with the other! Confiscated! Ice tornado!
In a bind?
Talon Hurricane! Whoa! Hey! When is it?
Not show me your strength.
One more!
Now, while it's reeling!
Take it down.
Is that all that you've got? Very well. Then die. A wretch like you? Till next time.
Shion, wake up, please!
Alphen?
Shion!
Thanks, but you're kinda crushing me.
Sorry.
It's okay. And so am I. It's not as bad as it looks.
Not bad. That's... Shion, we thought
I'm
you were...
fine. Really.
What the hell were you thinking?
Well, you were trying to protect me too, you know.
Yeah, but I have the sword. It's different.
It's not different. Besides, Never mind. It's nothing. Anyway, thank you.
But I didn't... Look, I'm just glad that you're...
Alphen?
Sorry.
That guy said he'd be back. I think maybe we should get moving before he returns, right?
Rinwell has a good point. We need to go. Shion, are you sure you're okay?
Shion, are you sure you're okay?
Yeah, I already applied some healing arts to it. It didn't even leave a scar.
But his sword went nearly straight through you.
I'm all right. Unless I've turned into some kind of ghost and I'm haunting you all right now.
No, I know you're not. It's just...
Look, I appreciate you looking out for me, but I'm fine, really.
There was also that strange light that appeared when Shion was stabbed. It seemed to make the enemy retreat when he saw it. Alphen, do you have any idea what it might have been?
A light? I don't know. I was kind of preoccupied with other things at the time.
Now that I think of it, between that light and the blazing sword, just what sort of person are you, Alphen? Can you use Dahnan astral arts like Rinwell, perhaps?
He wouldn't know, Dohalim. He doesn't have any memories from his past, remember? Besides, we should really be getting out of here.
I suppose you're right. Forgive me. We've almost reached Nias, the capital of Mahag Saar. With any luck, we'll find a place there for Shion to rest.
Hey,